All right, so now we're going to go through an occupy point routine. This is when you actually physically set up over the top of a control point. Right now we have control point 1 on the ground. I just take my legs, and when I go to set up, I put them right here and I set them at the height, all at the same height, about between my chest and my chin. So this for me is a good height, and I just kind of space them out over the top of the point. Take this cap. This cap keeps the top of this nice and smooth, so you want to actually keep this cap here. Then you're going to grab your total station, put it on top. I'm going to look for this level bubble. Because my work is this way, I'm going to set up with myself here, level bubble closest to me, and I've got a really nice good grip on the top here. So I'm going to put this guy in, I'm going to give it a little tilt back and screw it down. Now that it's tightened down, I'm going to adjust the optics, which you adjust the small one first for the focus, or for the brightness of the circle, then this one for the focus. So I'm going to adjust that quickly with my eye, like so, and I'm good. Then I'm going to put my foot on the ground near the point. I'm going to slowly lift up on the total station and put weight on this leg, and then find my foot by lifting it, finding the point, and then setting it down. Notice I keep my hands on the inside at the bottom the whole time. That allows me to feel nice and secure about it. So now that I'm near the point, I want to stabilize my legs, and how I do that is I put my hand on the inside again, release, keep my leg to the inside, and step on this. That allows me to drive the leg down in the right direction, and I'm going to do the same for all three. So hand down, like so. And last one. Now that I've stabilized all three, even though we're on concrete, we still want to stabilize them. Then I want to drive to what's called drive to the point, and I want to turn these screws by looking through here, and it'll drive right to the center of the point. So I'm going to drive right to the center. Now that I'm there, I'm not going to walk in a circle. I'm only going to use the two legs that are in front of me to level up. So I'm going to release this, and I'm going to again put my hand down on this, release up, and then I'm going to use my thumb on the other side to lower it down until the bubble gets in line with this leg over here, like so, and then I'm going to lock it. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Like so. And repeat until the bubble is where you want it, which that's close enough. I'm going to go ahead and hit power on the total station by entering the battery in it. And it's powering on. While it's powering on, I should say, I'm going to rotate this so I have one screw in the front and two in the back. I want to be able to have that pivot in the front to level up using the first one this way and the other two that level this way. So when I turn these screws in the back while I'm leveling, I'm going to show you in just a second, but I turn them counteracting, so I move my elbows out or in. So in this case, this first one I need to just adjust in just a little bit, and I want to go nice and steady, not jerky, just really slow and nice and steady. And I'm going to walk that number all the way in until it's under 5 seconds by 5 seconds. And then I'm going to take this one and adjust these the opposite way. So I need to come in with this, going the wrong way, so out. Nice and slow. And I'm just looking for under 5 seconds by 5 seconds, and I'm just going to fine tune the other way. So now I've got it under 5 seconds by 5 seconds. Now I want to release here, look through here, and slide it to the center of the point. Now that we're over the center, I'm just going to tighten this back up, and it's only just barely loose to where it stops, and then a little extra turn on it, not very much more than that. Then I'm just going to level up the rest of the way. So go ahead and level these guys up. And again, I'm taking my elbows out to get there. And this guy. Out of the way. And under 5 seconds by 5 seconds. And now, because I touched the screws, I look through here, I make sure I'm over the point, and I am. And I'm 1 second by 0. The only thing I have to do hit now is back. Now this total station is fully set up. It's over the point, and I hit back on the screen. Then I go to my prism, my RC, and I hold this in my hand. There's lettering on this. Make sure it's facing up the right way. And I hold this solid and rotate the prism only. Then I go to my rod and push in and over and lock it in. I need a battery in there. So we are going to put this battery inside, hit power. While that's powering on, I can go and power on my tablet. I can open up Micro Survey. This is automatically going to lock to that total station. Right now we're in shop, so that's our project. I'm just going to hit open. In here, the very first thing I'm going to look is for this to lock on solid. Once that's locked solid, then I can allow this data collector, which is the connect button right here. So I'm in my project and I just hit connect and connect. The instrument has detected a previous setup. You're always going to say no on this. That way you can orientate your total station each time you use it. It's beeping, so I know that the communication is there. It's going to pop up the level screen and tell us how well we did on our level screen. So we have an updated bit of information right now. It's 3 seconds by 4 seconds. I'm happy with that. Just going to hit continue. Now the only thing I need to do is continue on to layout mode. And in layout mode, I want to make sure first thing is my prism. What type of prism am I using? This is a 360 prism, so I want to change this right here to the 360 prism, which is arrow down, 360 prism. That looks just like this prism, so we're going to do the same thing here as well. Now my prisms are correct. Its height is at 5 foot. If I look at the side here, there's a little number on the side that says 5 foot. I'm making sure that that is the same. Now I just physically need to go to my control point. So we'll just walk out there. Here's our control point number 2. I'm just going to set up on it. We're just going to level up. How I level these up is I put one finger here, push on the button, and raise it till it gets in alignment with the other leg. So now I'm nice and level. Now, on this screen, I need to select the mode. It says select mode. This is what I pay attention to. Select mode means I haven't done an occupy point setup yet. So we're going to say select mode. This is going to be an occupy point because I'm physically occupying a point. It says on the map, what do I got to select? Map, and that one down there where the total station is point number 1. Where I'm standing is point number 2, so I say map, or I select, let me select the same way. So map and number 2. Now that it's highlighted, I can hit select and OK. Now, I just need to tell that total station to come find me, so I want to make sure this is facing the total station directly at it, and I hit this little lock button. That lock is going to tell the total station to come around and find me. And it's going to spin around, and within 5 seconds, it's going to be locked on me. So, just found me, and now it's locked on me. Now the only thing I have to do is verify the distance between this point and this point, which is physically where I'm standing in the field, so I just want to hit measure. This is always going to be your measure key right down here. Now it's going to give me my deviation error, which is the calc distance error of what it was designed to be. I'm off by 3/16 of an inch. That's okay in what we're doing, so we're going to go ahead and accept that. If that number was over 5/8 of an inch, I might reshoot that. You want to keep those numbers as small as possible. So we're going to hit accept. now that we're set up here, the total station knows where it's at. It's all orientated the right way. You can see this line actually goes between the 2 points now and it's locked solid. I can literally select a point and hit stake. And it's going to send me to that point. So it says in 8'5" and right 1'4". That's in towards the total station and right going in direction to the total station. So 8'5", we're going 1, 2, 1, 2, 8'5". We're going to set it down. It beeps so I know I'm close. Then I level up, then I can read this. And it says in 9/16 of an inch, which is actually where I need to go. And I level up again. Same process. Now I'm within 1/8 by 1/8. For me, that's good enough. I could go in a little bit or left and right a little bit. Notice right here it says cut to design, 3 inches and 7/16. That would be my cut to get down there. But in order for this to be accurate, I have to use a benchmark. So for right now, our benchmark is just right over here on the ground. So I'm going to physically go over there and I'm going to shoot the benchmark so that I have, right now I'm on the benchmark that the general contractor said that this point number is in fact elevation 0. So come on over here. In order to get into the benchmark, we were in stakeout, so now we want to jump into the benchmark. I'm going to hit red X and arrow back. Now where it says measure and store, I'm going to hit that button and it's going to say benchmark. The only thing it's asking for is a shot, so I take a shot. And then it asks me what elevation is that. So benchmark elevation, whatever that is that the general contractor wrote on the ground, that's what you're going to type in there. For this particular case, it's elevation 0, so we're going to hit set elevation. Do you want to update the update occupy point with new elevation? Absolutely. Now the total station knows where it's at, so I just want to take a check shot, and I'm in measure and store, which is the as-built mode automatically. And always the as-built mode, so I can just hit measure and it would verify the distance and where I'm standing. Elevation is 0. I could store this point, but as a whole I just want to make sure I check it. So now I hit cancel. Now when I go to stakeout point number 100, it says cut to design, so that puts us down to grade where we want to be for our elevation that is underneath this slab. So that is 5'8" and 1/16 of an inch. So when we stake out this point again, now to get down to where we installed our pipe, it says it's left a 16th, or in a 16th, left 3/16, and a cut of 5'7" and 7/16 below where we're sitting. That gets us down to the point. So that's how you do layout. If we want to as-build, I'm going to hit red X and arrow back. If we needed to shoot a sleeve or something that's in the ground, we would literally grab this, go over to here where our point is, and we're just going to pretend that there's one right here in front of this wall that we need to as-build. So I'm going to put it on the center of the wall, and I just want to come over here and hit measure, and you can see where we're standing right here. So we can just hit measure. And now we've as-built that location, so we want to change this point number. I usually, for as-built points, I usually put AB for as-built and then a point number. So I'm just going to start off at AB 100 and hit OK and hit store point. Now it stores it in my drawing, as you can see. So if I needed to do another one, I would just slide over, level up. Once I level up, I hit measure. And it is now stored it, just auto-populated to the next thing. Description, if we need to add a description in here, we can just say sleeve. and store point. So now we have a couple of points that we've added into our drawing. So that has us staking out that way. Now, if we need to put this in reflectorless mode and run it from the total station to actually shoot something physically instead of using the prism, we're going to bounce into that right now. So right here on the screen, I'm just going to hit my prism, go to reflectorless, make sure they're both in reflectorless. So I've got the little house, and I'm going to hit OK. Now physically I can go over to the total station and turn that, so instead of physically going over there, I'm just going to turn it up just a little bit and hit stop. And we are going to as-build a location here on the wall behind us. So I want to turn on the laser so I can see it. And right now, our laser is on the wall. You see it over there?
Clock. Ducked.
Okay, so coming down just a little bit. So it's on our back wall right over here. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but say there's a sleeve there. We need to as-build that. It's in reflectorless mode here. So now I just want to hit as-build. That is going to as-build the location and the elevation. And we're just going to call this sleeve again, and it's going to add auto-populate to there. So now it just shot it and it put it in our drawing. So now we just as-build the sleeve on the wall as well. So that should cover all setup information. So you want to make sure that you go back to your right prism, 360 and 360, so it's back into running on the prism. That will allow it to quickly connect back to the total station. And if I want to exit out and break down, I'm going to hit arrow back, disconnect. Now I've disconnected here. Now we're going to move on to here and hit power. That's nice and loud. Now we can go power off our total station. When we power off our total station, immediately we pull the battery after hitting power. So we're going to hit power. Battery comes out first. Goes in the case. And then we want to make sure our little screws where this line is, these are all back to where they should be. I release. And then it goes lock up, screen up. So the lock faces up and the screen faces up. And it fits nicely in the case. There you go, start to finish. Go ahead and stop that.